Here are the 5 most important tips to be a better cinematographer and elevate your craft. Are you a videographer that's wanting to be a better videographer, even a cinematographer, and you're looking for 5 things that really will elevate your craft, set you apart from everyone else, and land jobs either for yourself or getting hired by agencies? I'm here to tell you the 5 tips to becoming a better cinematographer, something that I've learned on my own that I wish someone would have taught me. And once I started applying these things, not only did my work look better, but I got hired more and more and more. And I'm gonna teach you those 5 tips to become a better cinematographer. Hey, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Leave a comment at the end saying what you thought of this video and what you'd like for me to cover. But right now, let's get into 5 tips to help you become a better cinematographer. Let's go. As someone that's been doing this professionally for 15 years, but having a camera in my hand since I was 8, there's a lot of things that I look for when I hire a second camera. A lot of things that I can't teach, but some things that I can teach and some things that I feel like I shouldn't have to teach. This is basically a video that I'm giving to everyone that I hire so that they know what I'm looking for and we can kind of just get past that initial stage and get on to making better and better images together. Tip 1 is understand the difference between coverage and footage. A lot of people get hired to shoot a wedding or shoot an event. That's some of the first things you're going to film as a videographer, as a cinematographer to get work and to get paid. They're gonna hire you to film a wedding or an event, and you're gonna think, hey, I should just keep the camera rolling and film as much as possible and just make sure I get everybody in shot and get tons and tons and tons of footage. But you need to learn to work smarter, not harder. What I really mean about the difference between coverage and footage is, you can just start rolling and film someone, but if you're not thinking about how they're lit, how they're framed in the image, what's happening in the images, if there's any action or if there's any storytelling, then that's just coverage. And most of it is unusable. But if you think, hey, what am I trying to tell in this moment? Even if you're shooting in a wedding or an event, like, are you trying to show that they're happy or that they're being thoughtful or that there's a tear coming to their eye because they're seeing a loved one, like enjoying the best moment of their life? What are you trying to tell with what you're shooting? And then how are you framing it? If you're showing an uncle that's proud of his niece because she's getting married, you don't want to film it from like a low menacing angle. You also don't want to film it from way above to make him look small. You want to think about how you're filming and framing your subject. You really want to worry about, how do I have this person framed and what am I actually telling and conveying with my shot? Because sometimes those two things could be different. What the audience sees and feels from your image could be different than what you're actually trying to convey. That leads me to the second thing, which are mastering the grid lines on your camera. The grid lines on your camera are not just for show. They are to help you construct your image using the rule of thirds and really framing your subject in a way that is appealing to your audience and gives them something attractive to look at. I'm showing you a few examples of stuff that I've shot that's run and gun and interviewed to show you how I use the rule of thirds to convey something. Sometimes you want to make a person look small or sad, so you'll leave a lot of room up top. Sometimes you want to make them look menacing. Sometimes you want to make them look straight on. There's a lot you can do with the rule of thirds once you start playing around with it. The next time you see an image and you think, oh, I really like the way that's shot, put the grid on it, and I guarantee you they're using the rule of thirds in a way that makes it to where you enjoy that image. Use these lines to create balanced, well-composed images to tell your story more effectively. Tip 3, leading lines. You want to direct your audience on where you want them to look in an image. And the best way to do that is to bring lines in. Use actual lines in what you're shooting to point them at the subject you want them to look at. You will see this over and over and over again. The more you watch television, the more you watch films, they're using lines within the set, within the image, to push your eyes toward what they want you to see. Using this technique will exponentially grow your talent at creating an image. They're a subtle but powerful way to draw the attention to the subject and enhance the visual flow of your shots. Leading lines are an essential tool in your cinematography toolbox. Tip 4, this one gets confusing, but it is so important, especially when you're filming conversations, interviews between two people, and you have 2 cameras, even 3 cameras or 4 cameras running on 2 or more subjects. And that is the 180 rule. And what I mean by the 180 rule is once you've established where 2 people are in a shot, you can never break which side of the image they're on. Let me break that down for you. In this shot, this person is on the left and this person is on the right. And if we cut to a second shot, this person is still on the left and still on the right. You never want to swap. What happens when you swap is you confuse your audience and they don't know where they are within the room and within this conversation. The 180 rule is all about maintaining spatial orientation in your scenes. Imagine a line running through your set. Keep your camera on one side of that line to ensure your subjects stay properly oriented on screen. Breaking this rule can disorient your viewers, so stick to it unless you have a compelling reason not to. Mastering this will help maintain continuity and clarity in your storytelling. Now, a perfect time to break this rule, and what you'll see a lot, is when you're watching some kind of cop procedural and they have an interrogation scene and the cop is interrogating the bad guy, and then all of a sudden the tables turn, literally, and you'll see the camera come around when the person says, actually, this is what's going on. And when it comes back around, they'll switch. But you need that motion to show, hey, we're about to switch sides and the whole narrative is about to change. But if you don't have that come back around, that switch around to show people, hey, these guys are about to flip sides of the screen because something different is happening, so I need you to be spatially aware of that, then you will confuse your audience. It's also a great storytelling technique and really helps your audience be like, oh, he just turned the tables on that person. The last tip I'm going to tell you is tip number 5, B-roll. Do not forget B-roll. Transition shots, establishing shots, subject shots, make sure you get enough B-roll. This will help not only tell your story, but help condense your images and keep people invested in your story because you have different things to cut to. These are the unsung heroes of your narrative. If you're saying, hey, we're about to go see these 2 people in this building, start with a shot of that building. B-roll provides context. Transition shots help your scenes flow smoothly, and establishing shots set the scene for your audience. These elements might seem secondary, but they are crucial for creating a polished, cinematic experience that engages your audience from start to finish. By understanding the difference between coverage and footage, mastering your framing, understanding the 180 rule, using B-roll, using that grid line, these 5 tips will help improve your cinematography and get you well on your way to becoming a better cinematographer, a better videographer, and getting more and more jobs for more and more money because you create images that are engaging, that tell a story, and that keep your audience engaged, entertained, and flowing scene to scene in what you're filming. Thank you so much for watching this all the way to the end. If you don't mind, please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, tell me what I can help you with, and get out there and start filming and start using these skills. And I promise you, you will create better and better images, better and better footage, not coverage, that you will be proud of. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.